Hey friends, and welcome to the Paparazzi Stars podcast. Here we chat about all things paparazzi. Tips, tricks, suggestions, and weekly challenges. All to help you grow and explode your paparazzi accessories business to rock star success. Hello again, rock stars, and welcome to another episode of the Paparazzi Stars podcast. My name is Anya Bohm, and I am your show host. Today we're going to be talking about time management tips. So I get asked all the time how I get done as much as I do. Well, here are my 7 best time management tips that when applied will help you get more done in less time. Now, I have to make a disclaimer. If you haven't listened to the show before, you know that I'm a work-at-home mom. So today I have 3 little co-hosts with me. My baby that's 3 months old, and then my 2 and 4-year-olds that are actually over playing computer. So we're going to have some nice background music. Hopefully none of the screaming or the fighting. But just a little disclaimer before we get going here today. So if you haven't listened to the show before, or maybe you are driving or you can't take notes, you're pretending to work or something like that, you need your boss to believe that you're working, that is just fine. Head on over to paparockstars.com/time and you can get all of the notes from today's episode almost word for word. What I'm saying on the call is in these show notes for you. You can also snag your copy of the call image that we're going to talk about right in 1 second. But head on over there, grab what you need, listen to a couple more shows, and hey, you might surprise yourself with what you find. So again, that's paparockstars.com/time. Okay, so that call image I was just talking about, it's one that you can use to share with people that are interested in joining your paparazzi business, because that's what it's all about, right? We want to share, we want to build our teams. So with this one, it says there are 168 hours in a week. 168 hours minus, now this is where it gets a little mathy, but it makes sense in the end, so stick with me. 56 hours of sleep, that's 7 days a week times 8 hours a night. If you sleep less, that's great. 55 hours if you work a full-time job, that's 5 days a week times 8 hours, plus a little bit for travel. 10 hours of errands. Do you think you will run 10 hours of errands a week? You might, I don't know. 7 hours of cleaning. 8 hours of children/carpool, 10 hours of cooking and cleanup, and 3 hours of church a week. Now that's if you have like church meetings or, Bible study or whatever, that kind of covers all of that. So with all of that, that leaves 19 hours unaccounted for in a week. 19 hours. That's enough for a full-time paparazzi career. And then it says, are you ready for some bling? Now, time is a valuable resource. It is actually the one thing that everybody has the same of and that you can't ever get back. So it's important that we use it wisely, right? Okay, so let's jump into the training for today. People often say that the busiest people get the most things done. Or you might have heard, if you want something to get done, ask the busiest person you know. Well, why are these sayings true? It's because busy people know how to multitask and to prioritize activities. So here are some of my tricks that I use to get things done. I mean, I have my paparazzi business that's growing and thriving. I do this podcast. I write a daily blog post. I write a daily post on the Paparazzi Stars. I write a newsletter to my team and to my customers every week. I have 7 kids. I'm busy with kids stuff and dance recitals and, just everything. And yet I managed to get all of it done. So give you just a quick glimpse into my life there. Let's talk about the things that I do to get a little bit more done in my day. The first thing you can do is multitask when you can. Now, multitasking means a lot of different things to a lot of different people, but to me, I multitask by cooking dinner and lunch at the same time. It's pretty easy to make some peanut butter and jellies and fruit and then chop veggies and throw them in the crock pot for dinner. I mean, I figure if I'm going to be doing something, I might as well do a little extra to save time for later. Another one of my favorite things to do is to sit with my kids and snuggle while I do something else. I've written thank you notes, I've brainstormed ideas about a blog, I've made to-do lists, all while I'm snuggling and occasionally tickling my kids. It's like a win-win. Number 2, when you're waiting, don't sit still. Every day I have to go pick up my kids from school. It's not a school that has buses. We have to take them there and drop them off every day and then pick them up. In order for me to get a good spot in the pickup lane after school, I usually go between 10 and 15 minutes early. Now, for a long time, I would just check my email or see what was going on in Facebook land, but now I take something to work on. This is another nugget of time that you can totally rock if you think outside the box a little bit. So write a letter to your friend, call and set up a doctor or a dentist appointment, talk to a friend or family member who you haven't talked to for a while. And then when the kids get in the car, it's a good excuse to end the phone call or the task so that it doesn't cut into the rest of your life. It's pretty awesome. Number 3, decompress regularly. Now there's just something magical about decompressing. Sometimes it's an easy just to take like 10 minutes and sit in my room and relax. And other times it's running to the store to get milk all by myself. I also have a monthly girls' night out with a bunco group. So whatever the case is, the little things, they help me to regroup and be a little bit more effective in the things I need to get done. So take a few minutes just for you. Number 4, to-do lists are a must, and must capital letters right here, people. Have you ever sat down at the computer and then stared at the screen blankly and you think, I know I was going to do something. What was it? This happens to me constantly. So when I have a to-do list, I'm able to focus and get the things done I need to do during the day. And if you're anything like me, my list is usually like 1,000 items long. Put a couple of stars next to the 2 or 3 things that just absolutely have to be done today. And then you can even put 1 star next to the things that would be awesome if they were done today, but it's not a must. Anything else you get done beyond those is just a bonus. Number 5, enlist help. My kids, they're great helpers, especially when we make a game out of something like putting away the laundry or putting away the toys. So with the laundry, if they try to put away their clothes before I finish sorting it. So I'll be sorting it and they're trying to put the things in their pile away before I get something else in the pile. It's a lot of fun. It's actually pretty funny too. We end up just totally laughing. And then it saves me having the time to put things away for them. Something as small as unloading the dishwasher or washing the table after dinner. It saves me a minute or 2 here or there, but over the long run, it really, really adds up. One of our favorite things to do when we're putting away toys is I'll give the kids different numbers. So to one kid, I'll say, okay, 7. And the next one, I'll say 11. And sometimes we'll get really silly and say like 42. And it helps them with their counting skills, but that's how many toys that they have to put away. And then when they get that number, they come back and I give them another number. So sometimes it's like 1 and they run and they put 1 away and they come back. And it's a really fun game, but it helps them to not feel overwhelmed with the task at hand. And it makes it into a game, which is a lot more fun. Okay, so number 6, plan ahead. Meals are a big time where I can save if I plan ahead just a little bit. For example, if I'm making a baked chicken on Tuesday and then stir fry on Wednesday, I'll just cook more of the chicken on Tuesday to have leftovers. And I do that on purpose because then I don't have to spend the time on Wednesday to cook the chicken. I'll also come home from grocery shopping and cook up like ground beef. If you get like a 5-pound ground beef, you can cook that up ahead of time because then it's ready when it needs to go into casseroles or for tacos or things like that. Once it's cooked, then I can freeze the pre-cooked meat in little sandwich baggies. So then when it's time to make dinner prep goes a lot more quickly because I can just toss it in the pan. We're good to go. In a crunch, I can also instruct the kids or the husband how to throw dinner together. Now, with new baby, I've actually been doing this a lot. The kids are learning how to cook, and it's kind of fun because I'll say like, okay, throw that in the pan. Okay, throw that in the pan. And from my recliner, I can see them in the kitchen and give them instructions. So it's been helping to have that prepared ahead of time because I really don't want my 11-year-old cooking meat, but if it's already cooked, I don't mind if she just throws it in the pan or whatever to get the rest of things ready. Number 7, let it go. While this might seem like a sad nod to the movie Frozen, it's one of the tips that I love most. I always try and start a load of laundry drying or start the dishwasher as I'm going to bed the night before. or when I'm leaving the house to run an errand. So then I can let the machine do its job while I'm doing something else. Then when I get home, I have clean laundry or clean dishes ready for me to put away, and I'm not sitting around waiting for them to run, and it totally saves me time. So let's go over those tips again. Number 1 is multitask when you can. Number 2, when waiting, don't sit still. Number 3, decompress regularly. Number 4, to-do lists, they're a must. Number 5, enlist help. 6, plan ahead. 7, let it go. So that's it, folks. That's my 7 best time management tips. I hope they help you to find in air quotes there, a little more time in your day. Whether you're just trying to run and grow your paparazzi business like I am, or you just need a little more time in the daytime to get done what you're already doing. I wish you the best of success. Now, you know that if you've listened to my calls before, we have a challenge every week. So let's get to that call challenge for this week. This week, I want you to choose just one of the tips from today and try it out for the next week. Come back and share your results with us. Post it on the page, thepaparockstars.com/time. We want to hear how it's working for you. Let us know. And if you think of another tip, let us know that too. We're all here to help each other. So thanks again for listening. We'll catch you next week. Bye-bye.